Hi, I'm Dr. Dayna, and today I'm going to talk about psychological safety. So, first, let's understand the definition. The official definition of psychological safety is that it's the belief that one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, concerns, or mistakes. It means team members believe that they can take risks without being shamed by other team members. Now, my favorite definition is it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to speak up and disagree. Like, it's really okay. I can go through my day without fear of punishment or humiliation. It's not just words, it's how everyone treats each other on a daily basis. We've probably all been in workplaces where it wasn't safe to be our full selves. I've had many workplaces where I had to play small to make sure I wasn't outshining people above me. It wasn't safe to disagree, and in fact, I've been demoted for disagreeing. I know it's not just me that's had this experience. Lots of workplaces lack psychological safety. Most workplaces have understood that they need to keep employees physically safe. The next step is to ensure that employees are also psychologically safe. We can also understand the definition of psychological safety by understanding the opposite. Here's what it feels like when you don't have psychological safety. It's a workplace characterized by blame, judgment, ridicule, silence, false agreement, gossip and rumors, mistakes that are hidden, where you can't be your full self. Now, there's also some misunderstandings about what psych safety is. And so, psych safety is not just being nice to workers. And it doesn't mean you just let workers do what they want or you have no expectations. It's not about being soft, kumbayas, or being indulgent or absolving employees of responsibility. We are not about allowing performance standards to slip. In fact, psychological safety does the opposite. So we know that psychological safety is actually really important. Why should we care about it? Well, Google did a study looking at what makes the most effective teams. And what they found was that psychological safety was the most important factor. They looked at all kinds of combinations of teams, and they found it didn't really matter who made up the team. It was about whether they could make psychological safety or not. And if the team could, then they were an effective team. Once you had psychological safety, then other factors were important. Things like dependability, structure and clarity, meaning and impact. But without psychological safety, these other things didn't really matter. And so research shows that psychological safety is associated with a whole bunch of good things, both for employees and employers. For example, it's associated with increases in job satisfaction, performance, perceived leader effectiveness, decreases in negative perception of career growth opportunities, and turnover. It's associated with increases in organizational citizenship behavior, self efficacy, proactive work behavior. And so, what this tells us is that psych safety is both good for the employee and the employer. This isn't just something that benefits one over the other. Both benefit when you create a workplace with psychological safety. Now, similar to many things in the workplace, psychological safety is a joint responsibility between employees and employers. We want to recognize that employers have a responsibility to provide resources to do things like making mental health resources available, but then employees also have to actually make use of it. The shared responsibility is especially true when we talk about psych safety. We know that leaders have a big impact on psych safety of the team. We know that they'll set the tone. But if employees don't get on board, if they don't also contribute, then it's very hard to make psych safety. It really does need to be a two-way street.